Okay, good morning. Let's go over the news. And we're going to go over our steps of trading and some necessities. And Thursday every week is a really important. It's the biggest news day of the week. And that's because the unemployment happens every Thursday, every week. And then once a month, we have the unemployment come out on Friday. That's the biggest news. And we see this week is really huge because the monthly report of the CPI, interest rates in the year happened today too. So these happen at 5:30 in the morning PST time, or 8:30, and it really affects the market. So the first report is the core CPI monthly report, the MM, and this is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding food and energy. It says actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. So if it's good, it would be green right here, but it's red. They predicted it to be 0.3, but it's 0.1. So that's really huge. And we'll be able to see that on the charts, how it moved it and everything like that. And so here we go again. We got a negative 0.1. This is even worse. And then the CPI for the year so far is 0.4. And it was before 2.8. So this is really bad, bad, bad. And unemployment last week was 219K. And this is 223K. So we got really bad news. This whole day is really bad. There's other news events that are happening. Like at the opening bell, remember Logan's going to speak of the FOMC, Bowen. I mean, today is definitely just a news day, an overwhelming news day. There's so much stuff going on here. And if we look, we should be able to see on different trades like what's happening. So here goes Euro USD. It spiked up and came right back down because it was bad news. Apple's just been terrorized. It went up 15% yesterday, but it lost $700 billion. That was crazy. Okay, let's see. US 30. And US 30, this is what happened. So the 30 biggest companies. So at 5:30, when that unemployment came out on the CPI, it shot up, came right back down real fast. So we see that it's just some horrible news. But see, news events, this is why we don't trade during the news. and nobody knows what's going to happen in the news. It just happens really fast. And even if it's supposed to go one way or the other way, sometimes it shoots up the wrong way and then goes back the right way. So right here, this event was 4,718 pips. Now that's huge, 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 huge. You know, usually what we see on the opening bell on the first 15 to 30 minutes is a movement of about 2,000. So with this one right here, just the news event on the unemployment, we see 4,700 move. And so this is the kind of stuff that wipes out trades. So that's why I always tell people on Thursday, always get out of your trades on Wednesday night, or make sure they close before Thursday 5 a.m. It happens at 5:30, exactly at 5:30. You'll see this major movement within a second. So always get out of your trades Wednesday night or early Thursday around like probably 4:30, because you don't want to be in this news cycle trade right here, because it'll wipe out your stuff. There's a way to trade the news, but it's all based off of luck. I came up with it years ago, and it works, but you need two accounts. You take one way, one the other way. You're gonna win on one, you're gonna lose on the other. Sometimes stop losses don't work so good during this news trade. Sometimes, you get your stop loss where you're gonna lose $200 and you might lose 1,000. So just be careful. Sometimes when you're trading the news, when you're going to win 1,000, it won't even allow you to win that money. It's very, very strange. Some brokers, now the broker that we use is really big, so they let you trade the news, but there's a lot of brokers that you cannot trade the news. Like the prop account that we have, you can't trade the news. If you win the prop account from going off the news, then they won't pay you. So you got to be careful. Because news trading is too risky for brokers and stuff. They could lose a whole lot of money if it goes the wrong way on a trade. And this is, just look at this big drop right here. Let's look and see. Nas did the same thing for the news. It went way up here, came right back down. Now we're getting a buy for the Nas right now for the 15 minutes. Let's see SPX. We see the same big candle. Sometimes it affects Bitcoin, and we see it too. It went way up, came right back down. Sometimes it affects gold. Here it is right here. The bot caught it on the news. The bot said it was going up. It was down here, and the bot caught it going. I mean, that's big. But we want to just avoid the news trading at all costs. There's no reason to do it. It's waste. That's just pure luck. So I wanted to kind of look at Apple. Apple's been having a real hard time. And I was reading about it, and it said that it lost $700 billion. And we see it right here. This is after the Liberation Day. It went down $54, which is almost 1/3 or 1/4 of what it was worth. And then if we look at the value of Apple, all we have to do is we go to Apple right here. Wow, Microsoft might be bigger than Apple. We go right here and we look at market cap. So market cap is 2.9. And then if it lost 25% of that, you could do the math, and that's how you get to that $700 billion loss. Wow, Microsoft is 2.9 trillion. Ooh, Apple's gonna be the biggest company again pretty soon. That's really amazing. I mean, Microsoft is gonna be bigger than Apple pretty soon. But Apple, I was reading about why they were saying the average phone that people get, they don't buy the cheap phone. They got a cheap phone for like $699. I don't have Apple. I use Android, Samsung. So they were saying that the average phone that costs $1,100, they're saying that phone's going to cost $1,700 because of the tariffs, and a lot of the stuff is made in China, and that's why investors are basically driving Apple down so much. But now the tariffs had like a 90-day break, but I think he's still doing something to China. So we'll just have to see and play that by ear. But Apple might really go down. Can you imagine everybody happen to go to Android like me? Some people love Apple phone so much, but Apple might be a thing of the past. It's amazing. All right, I want to talk about some crypto too, because crypto is really doing good, and I think that people should start buying crypto. Crypto is really at like the low of the low, and Solana hit about $97 right here, and now it's at 113. But this is really like the low. These are the days right here, and as we see, Solana's been going down since January. In January is when Solana really started heading down. It hit its all-time high, and then it's been heading down. Its all-time high was $300, and right now you can get Solana for $113. It might go down to 197, but I like, this is a really good buy, Solana, to buy crypto. Bitcoin, it was down to $77,000 this week, as we see right here. And then, wow, yes, yeah, yesterday it was at $74,000, and it just went up to 81,000. This is like a barrier where crypto's so cheap to buy. Ethereum, look at Ethereum. Man, I remember Ethereum was at $3,000, $4,000. Let's see. Ethereum's high was $4,111, and that was in December, and it's just been falling ever since. You know, these are the day trades. When you see a day trade for crypto, I mean, look at this. This is in December. Let's just look and see what day trades won on Ethereum. So, and these can make you so much money if you get in this, right? Right here, if you get out, that's $52,000 for a dollar. You would have got in, it would have been 4 days. Ethereum, right? Look at this one right here. Told us to go up right here. That's another $59,000 in 7 days. Right? Told us to sell right here. Went down here, $22,000. Sell again, Sell again, went way down here. Sell again, went way down here. Sell again. So the bot, like things like this is what can make people rich trading on the day, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This might be a loss right here. So there's 12 out of 13 times the bot was right on Ethereum going up or down. And we could have made gobs and gobs of money on those trades. So just be ready to really do good. Let's look at Cardano. Cardano is another one of my, it's ADA on the market. ADA. Let's look at it right here. Under the coin market cap. All right. And so when I help people invest into crypto, I have my favorites, right? XRP is a lot of people's favorite. I help people invest in XRP. I don't really like XRP that much, but I love Ethereum. I love Bitcoin. BNB is a really good coin, but I kind of stayed away from it lately because the CEO got arrested and went to prison. I love Solana. This is probably my favorite coin out of all coins, Solana. Also like Cardano. That's probably my second, maybe third favorite crypto to invest in. And we see Cardano went up 10% in the last 24 hours. Solana went up 8%. XRP went up 11%. So these are the things that you're also looking to see what's going on. And I don't know why this is taking so long. Okay. Tron is a really, really good coin also. Tron is really low. The reason why I like Tron, is the same reason why I kind of like Solana. It's its own blockchain and it moves really, really fast. And the way that it moves, the fees are so low. Like the fees on Tron are like a penny when you move like $1,000. Same as Solana. It moves really fast within seconds, and the fees are like a penny or two. So that's why I really like Tron and Solana. And Cardano is kind of like that, but it has special utilities that I really like also. Chainlink is a really good one. Avalanche is a really good blockchain that people are using now. Toncoin, I got a lot of this. This is a Telegram. The Telegram signals that we send out. This is Telegram's coin, and it's pretty cool. XLM is a really good coin also. Shiba Inu is like one of those, if somebody said, how can I put in a lot of money in a coin that's really low right now, and if it goes good, I'll become a millionaire? I'll tell them to get Shiba Inu. Like everybody should have, $100, $200 worth of this because it's so low under the penny. If this goes to the penny, like I'll be worth like $10 billion or something. And I just keep it, just in case it does that. Litecoin is a really good coin. Also, it moves really fast. It's kind of like old technology though. And those are really the ones that I kind of like. Uniswap is okay. And PancakeSwap is also good because that uses Web3 technology, and that's going to be the future. So if you guys are wanting to invest in crypto, get into it now because this is the best time to do it. Okay, let's look at this opening market. It's at 624. I want you guys to be able to understand candles. I'm going to go over that with you guys. This is a week to where you guys always know I trade every day from with you guys Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but some days I teach, and this is more of a teaching week because the market is just so crazy right now. And because of the news and because of what's happening in politics, basically because of the news. It's not just a regular news cycle. It's like um, there's been people that are in charge of the economy saying that there's been a lot of manipulation from our government right now on the stock market. And there's actually, they're in court right now. It was yesterday that Congress and like the Senate came up and they're saying that there's manipulation. Like people are basically saying stuff that they're gonna do, and it drives the market one way or the other. And then a couple of days later, they say, "Okay, I'm not gonna do it." So that's called market manipulation, and people can get in really big trouble for that. That would be like me telling you, and I have high authority somewhere, and I'm saying, "Hey, Bitcoin or sell Apple stock," and everybody hears that on the news, and then everybody sells it, and there could be major consequences, just not for the stock market, but the whole thing is the bond market. The bond market is what kind of keeps the U.S. government going, and that's like we don't really talk about the bond market too much, but in economics, the bond market is what kind of keeps everything going at a steady pace. And so when people don't have trust in the market, then that's when they don't have trust in the bond market. And whew, you don't want people selling all the bonds and things like that. But there's been some stuff in the news about the manipulation of the currency, and I'm surprised that we might see it on here. If we scroll down, we might see this case that they did. Let's see. It's been on the major news. Let me just put in market manipulation. And here we go. What is market manipulation? Pump and dump explained after Trump tariff U-turn. Opponents blast Trump for market manipulation as he pauses to. So buy now. Trump said the buy now tweet before tariff pause triggers. So he sent out a tweet to tell everybody to buy stocks, and then he came back. He came on the news and said, "Oh, he changed the 90-day thing." So just be careful. There's some stuff going on this week, and that's why I told you guys to stop trading real money. Like on, I think it was Tuesday, I warned you guys to stop trading real money because this stuff that's been happening since last Thursday is really. I haven't been trading. I think I made 2 trades since last Thursday. So you got to be careful. Right now, it's like a lot of stuff is going on. A lot of stuff has been going on that doesn't make sense in trading, and some of this stuff has never even happened before. Adam Schiff on Wednesday called on Congress to investigate whether President Trump engaged in insider trading or market manipulation when he abruptly paused sweeping tariffs, a move that sent stock prices skyrocketing. Yeah, so let's just be careful. Hopefully things will turn back around next week and it'll be regular again. But man, this has been the craziest ride of my life since Wednesday. Like it doesn't, it's just crazy. And then it's like, wow, beautiful, beautiful world we live in. But just be very careful when stuff like this is happening. We don't want to have our money in the market and be losing because it's a permanent news cycle, right? Meaning that I just showed you guys what happened. Let's go over news again, okay? So news happens at the 5:30 almost every day. An hour before opening bell is when the news cycle in America comes out, and things happen really fast. And what I'm trying to tell you is see this one right here, right? This is a news cycle. So just imagine that we're on a news cycle for like 12 hours a day. And while we're up in America, people are waiting for somebody to say something. And then when they say something, the market will move. Now, when did this happen? Before the only time I could ever remember this happening is Elon Musk doing it. Elon Musk was doing this about maybe 4 years ago, 2 years ago. Elon Musk would say something about a coin. Elon Musk would say the Dogecoin on his Twitter, and then everybody would buy the Dogecoin. Or he would say, another coin would come out and he would tell people to get, there was a couple coins he was doing that too, but he would tell people to buy a coin, and he's the richest man in the world. So when he told people to buy the Dogecoin, then he put like $1 billion, $2 billion into the coin, and he made it go up really fast, right? But then when the other people put their billions and billions of dollars in too, with everybody doing what he did, if you didn't get out in time, he took his money back out and doubled it really quick, and then sent it in chaos because it went down so fast. That's called a classic pump and dump, when you basically signal for people to do something, everybody puts their money in, and then when the general public puts their money in, you take your money out because you're pulling their money. And so these are classic scenarios of manipulation and trader sentiment, things like that. That's what they call it. Okay, so the market just opened up, and what do we see? We see that this candle right here for the news is way bigger than what's going on right now. Way bigger. I mean, when this news event happened, just imagine this news event starting out right here, going all the way up here, and coming all the way back down within 5 minutes. And now you're at 2 minutes, and it's this little candle right here for the opening bell. The opening bell of the United States is the biggest market mover besides the news. Besides the news. Okay, and I want to go over something, and then we're gonna go ahead and remember we trade Tuesday through Thursday, the opening bell time, 6 or 9 East Coast time till for 1 hour. So tomorrow we don't have trading. Monday we don't. Then we'll be back on Tuesday. But I wanted to show you guys a couple things here. This is in the back office. This tells you what to trade, the lot sizes, and how much you're trading for and how much it moves. But I want to go over candles, because candles are very important. And I think that people just look at it on the chart and don't really know what they're looking at. But I want you guys to be able to understand what it means. And I took a flight up last night to Las Vegas. Okay. Her job. And so I want to go over candlesticks. And so candlesticks are one of the most major components, and a lot of people don't know how to read them and don't understand them and don't understand the value of them, because when we're kids, we're not raised to understand candlesticks. The only time Let me plug my mic back in. The only time you're going to use candlesticks is when you're trading. So we're usually looking at lines and different things like that. But candlesticks are so valuable. And if you guys could really listen to this, I want you guys to really learn about candlesticks right now, because it's maybe one of the most valuable teaching things that I could teach you guys. And I want you guys to kind of study this on your own too, because of the value of the candlesticks. And this is going to help you guys know the trade and where it's at and where it's been going and where it started at. It's very, very crucial to your trading career. So we're going to go over the history, the basics, the body, what it means, understanding the patterns a little bit. And there's people that trade just understanding the patterns. So there's people, instead of trading like how we're trading off indicators and off price action, right? The major people do that, but there's also people that just trade off of candlestick patterns. So they wait for a pattern to happen, and they know that it's predicted that like 60% of the time after this happens, that's going to happen. 70% of the time when this happens, that happens. And you're not going to probably get over 70% on candlestick patterns, but just imagine if you understood candlestick patterns and you understand how to use the Beast Trader system together, you could always upper your wins. Because if the Beast Trader bounce strategy is 90% win rate, when we computer test it and back test it for 2 years, that's what's going to happen. But how about if you could also add a candlestick pattern to it? You could probably push that up to like a 92%. And sometimes when we take a Beast Trader trade, we're going to lose some of the time, right? Some people don't understand. They say, well, it wins 9 out of 10 times. No, it doesn't win like that. Some people think they could take 9 trades and it's going to lose, one. And then you take 9 trades again, then it doesn't work like that. You got to imagine this thing is going to win over the year 90%. So there's some days that you shouldn't even trade. That's why if I lose 2% in a day, I stop trading that day. Why? Because sometimes the day will make it lose. The day, the news cycle or somebody saying something, will make the day do the wrong thing. So you'll get on and you'll say, well, man, this trade lost like 4 times in a row. Yeah, because that's the day that was the bad day. Out of 10 days, that was like the bad day. Out of 30 days, there's going to be, 3 days on the bounce strategy that's not going to be working right. So look at it more of like a time frame. And so that's why I tell people, like, if you lose 2% a day, you're done trading that day. You come back the next day, I feel like I'm happy because I'm going to win. Every time I trade coming off a one bad day, I'm always like, well, that bad day is probably not going to be here for a lot of days later, and then let's say it has 2 bad days. If it has 2 bad days, I'm like, well, I know now I'm going to be on a winning streak. That's how I look at it. But you don't want to get in those bad days and just keep on trading and losing and losing and losing. That's not good. All right. Who invented the candlestick? Rice trading had been established in Japan in 1654 with gold, silver, and rapeseed oil following soon after. Rice markets dominated Japan at this time, and the commodity became, it seems, more important than hard currency. Menhisa Hama, a Japanese rice trader born in the early 1700s, is widely credited as being one of the early exponents of tracking price action. So this is the guy that invented candlestick trading, but they had it a little different than what we have on the chart. But this is a person. And so what they would do is they would track the different prices of different rice. And if you've ever been into other countries or if you've ever been down the rice aisle, you know that there's a lot of different type of rice that you could buy. And you could buy some rice that's really cheap, You know, I've been to some places where, parboiled rice and, stuff like that. How fast does it boil? But then there's the long grain rice. There's good for you rice, brown rice. So there's all kind of rices. There's black rice. And so that's what it was used for, to track the different prices of different rices. Candlesticks are important because your trading analysis, because it is considered as a visual representation of what is going on in the market. By looking at a candlestick, we can get valuable information about the open, the high, the low, and the close of the price. So why is it valuable? Because we can see, if we're looking at the 15-minute candle, we can see when it started, okay? We can look at the highest has been in that 15 minutes, the lowest has been at that, and then we can find out what time did it close at. So if we look back in history, it gives us a visualization of, on that time frame. We could do a day time frame or whatever we want. We could see when it came into that day, and then throughout that day, what happened, the highest and the lowest, and then we can see where it came out of that trade. That's very valuable information, because that's what's called price movement. Now we can dictate where the support is, where the resistance is. All right. And this is Edwin Lefeur. The speculators' deadly enemies are ignorance, greed, fear, and hope. So this is the stuff that we kind of go over. But the person that's speculating on the market, this is the thing that's going to hurt them. Ignorance is the number one, because they don't know what they're doing. That means you're ignorant, right? Greed is number two. Greed means what? Greed means that you're trying to get too much out of something and you're probably going to lose. Fear is really bad. And then hope is the only good thing. So he's saying like three things that are bad and one that's good. All the statute books in the world and all the rules of all the exchanges on earth cannot eliminate these from the human animal. So it doesn't matter how much we study, how much we get good at trading, all of us are going to have this, right? Even me, trading for 20 years, I'm ignorant on some stuff, right? I don't know what the news, there's no way for us to know what the news is going to come out with. They're coming out with this stuff last minute. Yeah, there's probably some society that knows this stuff before it comes out. I'm not a part of that. And they'll tell people that everything's going up and they make a lot of money and it keeps generational wealth going. But I don't know when that call is. I'm not on that phone call. And then greed. Sometimes I'll get a little greedy. Anybody's gonna have that problem. And that's why I monitor myself. I say if I lose this much, I'm done for that day. I'm only going to trade certain hours a day, because if not, I'll be trading all day, looking at my phone all day or my computer all day. And then sometimes I have fear that I'm going to lose 2% in a day. I don't want to, but it happens, right? But I can control that emotion by just having a stop loss and take profit and then stop trading. My thing is, if I lose 2%, I'm done trading that day. But sometimes when I lose that 2%, I say, well, I should make one more trade to try to get back to 2%. And I shut it down in my mind and I say, no, I already made that rule. Right. And then I have hope. And hope is the best thing to have, and positivity, hope that you're going to win. Right. But sometimes when you're on too much hope, it's like not good for you. So what does the candle really look at? Okay. This is a bullish candle. What does a bullish candle mean? A bullish candle, you got to look at a bull. It charges forward, right? And what does it charge at if you're in the Matador setting? It charges at the red. It's basically trying to get rid of the red flag that the Matador has out there. It's trying to kill that thing or get rid of it. So that's how I look at why they picked to say bullish. So there's a wick. And if this is a candle, this is like the wax right here, right? Then you got the wick at the top and the wick at the bottom. And that's how you look at this. And this is called a body where the color is. Okay? And it's bullish if it's a green candle, that means it's going up. Okay, so what does that mean? That means when it opened, when it switched over to this time frame, it opened right here on the bottom. And it means when it closed higher than it opened. It could have just closed a little bit higher. As long as it opens right here, lower, and then it closes higher, that means it's going to be a green candle. It's all based on the color is the opening and the close. Okay. If this trade opened right here, it went up here and it came back down right here, it would be a red candle. Okay. Now the difference is the bearish candle. Why is bearish? Bearish is like sell. And I look at bears and they go to sleep. They hibernate. They go up in the, the cave and they go to bed. And sometimes they're very lazy. And laziness ends up making things go down. That's how I kind of just in my mind put something in your mind that tells you the bear and the bull, and you kind of understand it. Because a lot of times when you're reading about trading, they're always going to be talking about the bull and the bear. That's their lingo. So we got to know the lingo. We got to know their vocabulary. All right, so on the red candle, it's going to open higher and close lower. And that's what creates the red. So it's the opposite. The bullish candle opens, the buy opens, closes higher. The red opens higher, closes lower, and that's the basics. The high price is both the same. The high price is both the same. The only thing that changes out of this whole thing is just the opening and close pricing. And here's another look at it. Opens here, closes up, going up. Just remember, going up is green. Open here, closing down, red, going down. All right. These are some of the number one candle understanding patterns that will help you out trading. The doji is the number one that I always look at. And that always, like, if a doji's happening or a cross, I'm usually suspect of the trade. These are different ones too. The Harimi is probably the best one in this one. But if you study this, there's books on candle patterns. If you really study it, you will get an edge, because these like happen 60 to 70% of the time. When something happens like this, it starts going the other way, and that's what it's trying to tell you. Like this bullish engulfing is like you get this candle, this a down candle, and then the bull overtakes both sides of it. It's the bottom, the top, it fills it up. And it's usually a directional change. And here's the bearish, the same thing, a littler green candle, right? Now, sometimes these two happen a lot of the time, and it doesn't really correlate as much as some of the other ones. But I just wanted to show you guys how these work. And the doji is the number one we're going to talk about. The doji is what really signals a reverse. Now, this probably happens about 70% of the time. This is the biggest denominator. Always remember the cross. The cross is the doji, and dojis happen different ways. But usually when a doji happens, it signals that the price is going to reverse. What does that mean? The price is going up right here. It sends a doji. It means there's a little space, and basically where it started and where it finishes is at the same place, signaling that people are in a fight right here. They're in a tug of war. They're saying, man, somebody wants it to go up, other people want to go down. It goes up just a little bit, but it keeps on forcing to go down, so it stays in this little pocket. And then what happens usually is the people that are trying to make it go up are going to get out, and it's going to start going down really quick. So that's a really, significant candle. Okay, and then you got the long leg doji. I call this the Christ of the King. This is another one. It's going down fast. You get the cross, and what happens when you get a cross? Everything changes in your life. So your life is like going down all the time until you get this king in your life, this cross right here, and then the trade just starts going up really fast. So when you see one of these right here, this is when you really jump in and get in this. I love this trade. Probably this is my favorite thing when I see this. And what you see is it went down, it started going down really fast, but then it creates this thing at the top. So see how it goes down? The bottom is longer than this top wick. It is so thin. It's almost the same size as the wick. Like there's almost no color right here. It's so, and then that signals, man, it usually always goes up after that. You got the upside down hammer. They call it the shooting star. That's another, it went up and then it starts getting trapped in the bottom, and it usually means it's coming back down. The hammer, man. So there's all these other ones. Evening doji. This is what? This is the same as this one. Abandoned baby. Evening doji is almost the same thing. The hammer usually signifies it's going up. So these are good things for you guys to know. Some people trade with the bar charts. I started out trading with the bar charts, and it kind of helped me because it shows you when the trade gets in right here, boom, and it shows you when the trade gets out. So when you first started trading 19 years ago, I was doing the bar charts. I didn't understand what the candles were. I didn't understand the colors. All I wanted to know is when it came into that time frame and when it came out. So the bar chart shows you right away. It came in here, it went out here. It came into this candle right here, our bar, and it came out right here. So you really need to know that. Now, this is the same exact representation, but with the color, and it gives me way more information. You see? So it comes in right here. This is where it came in. It's the same. Goes down, goes up, right? And then it transfers right here. And that's where the green starts. Goes down, transfers right here at the top of the red. Why do we know? Because remember, when it's a red, it has the top of the color is where it transfers in, and the bottom of the color is where it transfers out. Okay, the same thing on the other, the green. The green comes in at the lowest point, and then it forms the color, and then the wick is just, where it went down further than the opening, and it's where it went up farther than it's closed out at. So I look at this kind of like it came in here, right? It might have went down here first. It came all the way up here and then got out right here. And that gives me more information than this right here. It shows me, which way it was moving most of the trade. So on the live charts, let's go to it now. And I want to show you guys exactly what's going on. And we'll look for the day representation. Look at this sell. Really good sell for us. All right. Let's go to gold. And what do we see with gold today? It's winning every single time. That's why I said if you guys get a day signal, somebody asked me the other day, I think it was Charles, he said, what does it mean when the telegram has a D for the time? And I said, that means basically in time, that means 24 hours. Okay. So, and I'm going to scale this down a little farther. And I do have the charts marked up, so let's go to a different one. It's not so marked up. Here we go. We just got a signal right here on the 5 minutes for the US 30 to go down. It did. We had one going up right here. It went way up. So that was really beautiful, you guys. Look what happened at the look what happened in the news. So look at this candle for 5 minutes. The news happens in like a couple minutes. It goes way up, came right back down. It was the biggest candle. Nothing else is even the size of that. So the news is a big trigger. I was trying to tell you guys that. But trade on the 5 minutes, you're winning, winning, winning. Okay, so look at these candles. So the candle comes in, and let's just go over this news event. Okay, the candle comes in right here. You see it come in, and it's red. So we're looking for the top of the color, and then the bottom of the color is where it closes out. So it came in right here. It closed out right here. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to transfer over from right here to the next candle. So this candle started right here where the major color is. It went down a little bit and then came up to here, went back down, and then it transferred to here. Now, this news event, what happened is it started right here. It probably went down a little bit, and then it went straight up really high, and then it fell back down to right here and then transferred to here. Okay. Now, sometimes these things don't line up perfect. Like right here, it lines up perfect, but what you see right here is this is a little higher where it closed than where it started at the next candle. Sometimes, there's gaps and stuff, meaning that in that second when it transferred over, there was a big gap. Well, where do we see these same gaps? We see the same gaps during the stock market. Why? Because the stock market closes and then it opens at a different level, like right here. So this was Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday. So Monday, it went up the last candle and then it closed right here. So people were like, well, why didn't it just transfer over? Well, there's a pre-market going on. And one of the students called me up yesterday and we were talking about that, how you could trade the US 30 for 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, but you can't trade Apple during that same time frame. So why does Apple pre-market, the next day way up here? It's because people are throwing so much money in US 30, US 100, SPX 500, and then part of that goes into the Apple. All right. So that's basically very, very a simple breakdown. And so you guys can look at different areas to improve in your candlesticks, but just understand them because they're so powerful. They'll help your trading so much, you know. Here we go right here. Let's look at some of these 5-minute trades. Gold going down, it went straight down. Gold going up. And I was also teaching people, like in Telegram, it only gives you trades on the 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hours, and day. But you could also trade on the 5 minutes. If you guys are strapped for time, you guys can go on this indicator and you guys can make it so you can see the 5-minute trades, and the 5-minute trades are going to happen more, right? The less time. Look at this right here. You could have took this trade right here for US 30 at 1. This one won. These are on the 5-minute time frame. Any time frame is going to win 90% of the time. So here goes another win, right? So they're going to win 90% of the time. But why don't I trade the 5 minutes? Here goes another win. We just looked at the 5 last and they all won. So the reason why why I don't trade on the 5 minutes anymore is just because I'm not going to win that much. Look at this right here. Check this out. What do I mean? Okay, if I took this trade right here, and this is a bad example because you won a lot on the US 30 right here. But let's look at this one. And you won a lot on this one too. Let's go to gold. Yeah, these are all just great trades. The boss taking that 5 minutes. But let's just say something like this where I win 800 pips, right? If I took the same trade that you see on the 4 hours, and let's say I got in right here and I got out down here, that was 700 that I did in that 5 minutes. But if I would have took this trade right here, I'd have made $8,800. So those are cool trades. The little 5-minute trades are cool. And you can up your lots and make a whole lot of money really fast, but it can go the other way and you can lose money really fast. So I'd rather be very conservative and trade over a higher time frame, and I could predict what I'm going to do. If it starts going the wrong way, I could lose the money, but if it starts going the right way, I can make way more money. That's the whole theory of why we're day traders, meaning that we trade throughout the 24 hours of a day instead of scalping, which means that we're basically trading within 15 to 1 hour time frame at the most. We're in trades. So some of our trades end up being scalping kind of, because we're taking 15-minute trades and we want to be in the trade for 15 to 45 minutes. But everything over that time frame, we're doing more than scalping. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value. This is Thursday. I want to answer anybody's questions, but we're on the hour right now. So do you guys have any questions? Does anybody have any questions about anything we could kind of go over a little bit more? No, I don't even know if I can hear you guys because I haven't heard nobody say anything.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, sorry.
Okay,
I
because
didn't
I
know if
don't know how
somebody
to
had a
make
question.
my thing. I can't get my thing to work, so I got to move it over to driving. I don't remember because I studied candlesticks long time ago. But why do you just get that little wick? I can't remember why you get that little wick on the
Oh, the
candlestick.
wick like this going up here? You're talking about the wick part. This is the wick part, the little skinny lines.
Yeah,
Is
what
that what you mean?
creates the skinny? Yeah, what creates the skinny line? Is it like
Okay.
just a couple seconds or something, or what creates the skinny line?
No, it could be any time frame. So what happens is it starts right here. Uh, this is where a green candle starts at the bottom of the filled up green, the body. So it started right here, and that just means that it went up way higher up here during this time frame. During the 5 minutes, it went way up here, but then it's closing right here. This is where it closed and went to the next candle. So it's telling you that it went super high and then it came back down really fast and then closed out right here. So the body is the most important part because the body is where we're going to put our support and resistance lines. That's why the body is so important. Like a lot of traders that like rookie traders will put a support line at wherever the top of the wick is. So look at this. If I put a support line right here and say, take this trade going down, but it only hit here one time. What you want is to create support lines, and that means when it's going to hit something and go back down almost every time during the candle body. Like right here is really good because it hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even you can count kind of these are really close, 9, 10. So there's about 10 times that it hit this line, and every time it hit this line, it went down. Now, if we would have predicted just the top of the area during the wick, like it never came back here. So it hits here and we put a line here and we say the next time we're going to trade is when it hits here. We'll miss out on the whole trade. We should have been hitting it right here over and over and over again. So that's why the wick is important to know that it did go up in that area. So the best trade for us to get is in between the top of the candle bodies on the resistance and then in between here because we know it did go up here. So see, now that we have the barrier of the top of the wick and then where the resistance is on the body, then we get our trades in here. So as you see, it would have been a better trade if we got a little higher. It would have been a better trade if we waited for it to get up here. This one to get a little past the red line. But even if you hit the red line and you're taking your trades down, you're going to win a lot of money and you're just going to be out of profit for a little bit. So the whole wick is just showing us where the trade um, has went to, the highest point or the lowest point inside of the body of the candle. The body, the color represents, where it opened at and where it closed at. So a red candle opens at the top of the body and closes at the bottom of the body. And then it transfers on the wick either higher or lower than the body part. And then the green candle opens at the bottom of the green body and closes at the top of the green body. But then you see on this one, it went way down here during that time frame. And the wick is very important in the body color is very important because we want to know that this happened right here, right? We want to know that it came way up here during this time and came back down. That's very important to know that it wicked out here. But we want to know too, most of the time it was inside of this body and it was trying to get back to this body section because that's called price action. Like right here, if we looked at right here, we can see this price action. We see that every time it hits right here on the color, it comes back down. Now it did go outside one time, it did go outside another time right here. But if we would have took any trade on this line down, we would be winning. We would have won right here some, we would have won right here some, and then we would have won big right here. So that was a great question. Did I kind of answer the question right?
Yeah, yeah, I understand now. I like soon after I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, right. Open and
Okay.
close, that's where the body come from. Okay.
Yep. Yep. And we'll study it. Nobody has any wrong questions because I guarantee you there was 9 people on this call that want to know exactly what you just asked. I guarantee you. I was teaching for years as a high school teacher. And I always know because the kids come to me after class and they're like, man, he asked a good question. But like the kid would say, to me, like, did I ask the right question? I wasn't trying to bug you. I'm like, nah, everybody wanted to know that too. So every question is good here. Does anybody else have a question? I think somebody's in the chats asking something. Thank you. Very informative. Okay. No problemo. Yeah, does anybody have any other questions?
So, Lonnie,
Uh-huh.
do, do you, if you're using the Beach Trader Telegram, do you still have to do all those lines?
No, no, the Beach Trader Telegram is just it's this right here. It's the same thing. So it's
Mhm.
gonna tell you to buy. This same signal right here is a Beach Trader Telegram. See right
Mhm.
here, look at this right here. I have this alerts, and you can set up your alerts too if you pay for the subscription for, or you can use this as free. But if you pay for the subscription on TradingView, you can set up alerts. So these are the alerts that happen for the Telegram. See where it says Telegram, Telegram, Telegram.
Mhm.
So that's what's happening. I'm like, when this does a buy on the 15 minutes, it's going to send it to Telegram. So this is what you see. So if Telegram tells you to sell the US 30 15 minutes, this is what happened right here. It's in real life. Like you could look at it too. So Telegram, you could just use it and just take the great trades.
Mhm.
But if you want to also look at, you know, the indicator right here, you can do that too. But that's all it is. It all works together.
Okay.
So that was a great question. Yeah. The thing is with TradingView, like if you have a good subscription that I have, I always get it on Black Friday for as cheap as it is. The lowest subscription, I get the biggest one. But you could actually trade other stuff and get signals. Like me, I could go to US 30. I could do US 30 and or not US 30. I could also have like Euro JPY, or let's say I want to trade Euro USD and I want to get a signal every time it does Euro USD, right? I want to get this signal on my phone or I want the computer to ring. I could set an alarm up for this. And there's a video in the back office about setting up alarms, but I could set up this trade right here so it could have told me because I love to trade Euro USD. Now with us, the bot basically sends out signals to Telegram based on Bitcoin, US 30, gold, NAS 100, and SPX 500. Those are some of the closest spreads, the best trades we could take. And so that's why it's on there. But if you guys want to trade, this is the number one trade in the world is Euro USD. So let's say you want to trade that or you want to trade Apple, you could set up an alert to where it alerts you, right? Now you're not going to be able to set up an alert to where it alerts you on trading or on Telegram because you would need a programmer like my programmer did that for me to make it very easy for everybody because Telegram's simple. But you could basically put Trading View on your phone and then it will ring and give you a notification every time a trade comes out for whatever you want. You might want XRP. You might want, Bitcoin if you have a lot of Bitcoin or something. So that's just another functionality. So you don't need to know really how to do that, right? That's just it's kind of like an upper level thing. I already mark up the charts for you guys when we're trading together, but I just want you guys to know that the same thing that happened before is the same thing that's probably going to happen in the future until it breaks out. Yep, good question. Are there any other questions?
Are you available for any, like we want to put more money into Solana or something?
Yeah, definitely. If we could do it online, because I took a plane out to Las Vegas. Lacana,
Oh,
my fiance, is moving to San Diego. So sometimes I'm always in Vegas. I was half here, half in San Diego for the last 2 years. So we're gonna be in San Diego every day unless we're traveling around the world. So it's gonna really make it easier for everybody to contact me in San Diego and for me to do more things. So if you want to do it on the internet, like through Zoom, we could do it today. If you need me to meet in person, then we're gonna have that coming up next week. I'll be able to do that with you real simple.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, no problem. And I just been super busy this week with helping her move out and everything and getting her situated. So I'm here, you guys. Everything's gonna be simpler. All right, everybody. God bless everybody. Love you guys. You guys have a good weekend. We're gonna be back. Remember, it's on Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we trade for the hours. You guys go in the video library in the academy and start watching some of the videos. Watch some of the videos. Like, let me go to it. I'm always loading new videos. I just loaded up one. I gotta load up these 2 last days trainings of price action. But I want you guys to start looking at the ones that are called the bot ones, the Beast Trader bot videos. Those are the ones that I feel like will help, because if you're just using the bot to trade for you on the Telegram signals, the best thing you would do is watch these videos on how the bot works. Let me go. Her internet is slow today. I don't know why. It usually works really good. Let's see here. I want to show you guys just really quick which videos to look at in the back office. When you go to the back office, you're going to click on the Beach Trader courses, because the Forex courses are beginner. They're good too, but okay. All right, so this is the one right here. It says trading on the bot indicators and Telegram signals. Right, the indicators in bot, just an overview. This is the video that kind of does a longer version and talks about a lot of stuff. And then the trading view basics, um, how to find the Beast Trader indicators, optimizing color settings for maximum trading success. This is a key. I usually do this with everybody when I do a one-on-one. How to switch between different trading pairs and candle time frames. How to set alerts on trading view. Understand the Beast Trader super trend on trading view. Higher time frames are best opportunities. Trading view walkthrough, how to use the heat maps to enhance trading for indices. Trading view signals, price action strategies, and trading. The impact of major news. That's kind of like what we went over today, right? Trading view, what are the best days and times to trade? Master day trading with Telegram trade signals, gold surges, trading view, and indicators test. So after you watch all this, then there's a test right here that I want you guys to take to see if you really learned it. You might have to go over it a second time, third time. Don't worry about it. Just, you want to learn it. Remember when you were in school and you had to go over some stuff and get tutoring? My daughter was just calling me up yesterday. She's in college and she was like, she needs tutoring. And I said, girl, I know how to do all that stuff. Just come over to my house and learn from your dad. And then I could spend more time with you anyways. And then she had an excuse. She was like, Dad, I know. But she gets extra credit if she goes to like the tutoring at her college or something. So I was like, okay. But I was just trying to spend more time with my daughter and help her out with school. Because I'm a perfectionist at school. Like I try to watch this stuff. Like the Lord gave me a sermon this week. And so I've been studying for like 4 days straight since the Lord gave me a sermon on the Good Samaritan. And I learned so much stuff about the Good Samaritan, the time frame, and what, why they worship there and why the Samaritans did this and that. And it's like, then I'm going to boil this down to me. And after this, I'm going to go over more. But I'll probably have like 6 days to where I'm studying for like 5 hours a day. That's 30 hours that I'm going to give a sermon for like an hour. And so I got like, God always gives me more than what I could even give out to other people. Like I'm gonna have 30 hours of learning about the Good Samaritan to break it down in an hour for everybody else. So that's how I study. Like if you guys study this stuff over and over and over again, you'll get like the key nuggets and you guys will make so much more money. And so you have to look at the more you study, the more you learn, the more you're going to make. And when you correlate those two together, then it's very valuable to look over stuff and read books and do all that, right? Because now it's like I'm going to make more money if I study, right? But I'm gonna be honest, like what they say is the average American person, not us, because we're not average, because we're trying to learn new stuff, but the average American person wants to put in the least amount of time and get paid for the most amount of what they did. And that's kind of backwards than somebody that is really trying hard and they get promoted because they're like the hardest worker or the most respectful person or stuff like that. So let's try to be the hardest worker and get rewarded from that instead of trying to put the least amount into it and think this is like this isn't a get rich quick thing, right? Those are all fake. This is like learn how to do this and change your life forever. Change your kids' life. Your kids will start learning how to do this. Everybody around you will want to do this. Like you're gonna change everybody because you learn this. That's how you got to look. All right, love you guys. You guys have a good day. Bye bye.